Ladies and gentlemen, I am completely speechless. This map is an absolute masterpiece. Welcome everyone to Kinlaig. Now, in my personal opinion, ladies and gentlemen, I think this map is Giant Software's best work. It is exquisite on so many levels. There's so many parts of this map that I've been just oogling at over the last couple of hours as I've been taking it all in and trying to figure out where to start, quite frankly, because there's so much to take in. I was a massive fan of Riverbend Springs and also of Silver Run Forest. I mean, just look at that. The old steam train there crossing the viaduct. I mean, it's just incredible. It really is. Yeah, like I say, I was a big fan of Riverbend Springs. I am a big fan of Riverbend Springs. I think it's a beautifully detailed American map. Silver Run Forest as well had its special features, predominantly obviously being a forestry focused map, but it was from a map perspective alone, I thought it was really, really good. But this blows it out the water. Really does. Now myself, I come from Scotland. I was born and raised there till I was relatively young, but many a year was spent holidaying in Scottish seaside towns, and this is absolutely perfect, down to the very last detail. It really is. I think they've done an incredible job of researching what a place like this should feel like. I mean, there, we just passed them there, but the lobster net's down by the wall there, old and rusty, knackered, just sitting there, having not been used for a long time. It's the details for me that make a map so special and immersive, and this is absolutely dripping with it. It really is. Just old pallets by the side there, some old netting, an old fishing boat on a trailer there. There's Alistair, the new NPC person. I don't think I've ever actually spoken to an NPC person in the game so far, but there's just the ramp there for dealing with the boats. I'm speechless. I really am, as you can probably tell. It's an incredible place to be, quite frankly, this map. Kinlaig. Giants have really done us proud. They really, really have. There's so many beautiful bits of detail dotted around this map that just make this thing so very special. We've got a henge up here on a hill, which looks incredible just on its own. The map's dotted with a few ruins lying around like this, which again just look wonderful. We've got new AI traffic to add a bit of variety into what's passing us by on the streets and the roads. We've got we've got a classic Range Rover here. We've got a Reliant 3-wheeler. There's an old Mini, old classic Mini. We've got a Triumph Spitfire. I think this is what this one's meant to be. We've even got a new Mini dotting around, and there's a handful of different types of buses as well, which it's about time, in my personal opinion. We've had, obviously on UK maps and stuff that people have made, we've had American buses driving around and Citroen 2CVs and all that kind of stuff. So just having that different variety of traffic now driving around, I think is absolutely brilliant. It really does add to the immersion. But just look at this high street. Like I say, having come from Scotland, I was born and raised in Edinburgh. So, and this feels bang on. It really, really does. There you go, another example of a local minibus driving around. It's just perfect. The oldie worldy shops here that we'll have a little bit of a look into in a little bit more detail very, very shortly. But yeah, like I say, the map, there's so much to take in. I'm not going to be able to cover everything in this map tour. This is just going to be essentially just a bit of a map tour of the map itself. The Highlands fishing expansion does come with a whole handful of things, new vehicles and equipment and all that kind of stuff, and new crops, and a few other, there's a couple of new productions and things on this map. But yeah, predominantly just to showcase the map and show you what it's got to offer, because it is stunning. Anyway, the last thing you want to hear is me oogling on about the fine details going on about all that kind of stuff. We want to have a look at what the map contains and what it starts us off with. So I'm in new farmer mode, started off in new farmer mode, and we start off with this wonderful farm here on the west side of the PDA. We'll have a look at the map PDA in a little bit more detail very soon, but I just thought I'd show you the starter farm that you start off with. Now, the map comes with a whole handful of new placeables in the construction menu. This is one of them. It's a beautiful old knackered rusty kind of tin shed, as it were, steel beam structure. But yeah, it's just gorgeous. It really is old and authentic and full of character, and that's what I really appreciate about these new placeables. All of them have a bit of something special about them. So yeah, this is the starter farm. This on our left is one of the new silos, or the new silo, from the Highlands Fishing DLC. Again, beautifully textured, really suits the area, and with a bit of storage going on behind it here as well, which is great. Again, lots of decoration around this farm. There's loads of old dry stone walls running around the map, which is perfectly authentic for this kind of map for Scotland. It's really is quite something. So you've got your farmhouse there in front of us with a nice little garden, a bit of a greenhouse, I suppose. All that's decorational, of course. You do have a sleep trigger there for your farmhouse. Got your starting equipment, some of it being new to the game. We've got this new old school JCB fast track, which is a new addition to the to Farming Simulator for the Highlands Fishing DLC. We'll have a look at the new equipment relatively briefly. We'll have a look at it in the menu, because it does come with a handful of new bits and bobs of kit for the game. But again, a lovely new shed in the placeables menu available, and this one as well that we've got housing our Massey Ferguson 8570 combine harvester, part of the starting equipment. And what this starter farm does start you off with, you start with some Highland cows, which is they are in a pasture just down the hill there, as you can see, grazing away in the field. And as you can probably hear, we've got a sheep barn as well here to start off with. Now, I think these ones have actually got some food. The cows haven't got any food at all to start off with, but the sheep that we've got in here do. They've got just under 4,500 litres of food in there, so that's great. Got some Black Welsh Mountain sheep in there, I think, at the minute. 12 in total, out of a total capacity of 32. So that's all good. But yeah, this is our starter farm. So yeah, as you can see, this bunning trailer is part of the new selection of kit that we've got to enjoy as part of the Highlands Fishing DLC. Now, a quick self-promotion. If any of you haven't bought the Highlands Fishing DLC yet, and you are strongly considering it, please consider using my Giants Partner promo code. If you fancy supporting the channel, it would be a big help. It always is. So yeah, the promo code is there. If you are still umming and ahhing about whether to purchase this or not, I highly recommend you do. It's an absolutely incredible addition to the game. It really is. Now we're over on the far east side of the map, relatively northeastish, at the second starter farm that I've found on the map. I think there's only 2 on the map, I think, main starter farm setups. There's a handful of places that are dotted around that look like they could be relatively small holding areas that don't have much about them, and maybe just a little cottage in the hills kind of thing that you could start out relatively small from, but this seems to be the other large-scale farm that we have on the map. Now, it comes with a cow barn, and it comes with a bulk hall, and a house, of course, and that's, as far as I can tell, pretty much it. This is a new model of cow barn that is available in the placeables menu. There's a new cow barn, this one in front of us. There's a new horse stable in the placeables menu, and there is also a new sheep placeable as well in the construction menu for animals as a result of this Highlands fishing DLC. So yeah, that's pretty cool. But yeah, you've got your bulk hall, which is just here. You've got your kind of silo grate and your loading auger, funnel, whatever you want to call it, up there. So again, beautifully textured, old and rusty and knackered, as you'd expect to find in a seaside town like that, near the salty air. You've got a nice silage bunker here as well. There's a handful of these in the construction menu as well that are new as a result of the Highlands Fishing DLC expansion. Really nice. We'll have a little bit of a look at those very shortly. But yeah, that's kind of pretty much it for the 2 main farms that I believe are on the map. I hope I'm not too wrong with that. I've had a good fly around to try and figure out where areas would be that look like they could be starter areas, but it seems in my mind there's 2. There's the one we looked at before, the starter farm that's got all the kit, and there's this one as well. And this is what I think is possibly the 3rd kind of starter farm that they had laid out, but it's not a complete starter farm in that respect. This is a decorational building. It doesn't function as a silo by the looks of things. Everything you see there is kind of decorational. You've got a bit of a storage shed here. This building here is functional. You can open the doors and you can pop in and stick your machinery in here. But this, when you buy this plot of land, it comes with the forestry area, the tree area behind us here. So if you wanted to get a little bit of Scottish forestry on, this is probably the one you'd want to start off with. It's a shame that those buildings don't necessarily function as a silo in that respect, but it is what it is. They've done what they've done in that respect. You can't open the doors on these buildings. As I say, I think this one is just purely decorational. But still, it's a beautifully laid out area of land though, and building and all that kind of stuff. It feels absolutely bang on. It really does. You can just see another one of those old ruins there in the distance up the track. But yeah, it comes with that plot of land there in front of us, which is populated quite heavily with some trees. So if forestry was your thing, you could certainly start up here for sure. So let's have a look at the PDA. So this is where we just were, this the kind of forestry starter farm that I assumed it was, plot 57. This is the cluster of buildings that we've just been looking at here. The main starter farm, if you start out in new farmer mode, is here on the far west side of the map. It comes with plot 49, plot 50, field 23, which is currently a field of wheat ready to go. You've got field 20, which is a field of barley, which is also ready to go, ready to harvest. You've got a field of grass, and you've got an empty field here as well. And there is your cow pasture and your sheep barn as well. So yeah, and the other farm that we very briefly looked at is over here on plot 71. This is the one with that cow barn and the bulk haul silo there. This one doesn't come with any field land, as it were, but I think I've counted 75 plots of land in total that we can buy on the map. The biggest field I think I've found is field 25, that comes in at just under 17 acres. The second one down from that was possibly field 15, but this seems to, I think it's encompassing the whole area of land that comes in at 19 acres as well. So I think this field is slightly smaller than field 25 possibly, but there's a nice wide range of field sizes from everything from field 25 right the way down to what we're looking at. I think field 43 looks pretty small down there. Field 9 is quite a small one there as well. But yeah, I think looking at it, yeah, I think field 43 is quite possibly the smallest on the map. But we've got a nice variety of everything from, yeah, in between all those field sizes. But as you can see, the top left-hand corner of the map there is heavily populated with a lot of varying different sell points. Now, a lot of these are taken up by shops on the high street. So you've got this board games here. You've got the likes of Mistmore Oil, the Wee Oatcake Bakery, bakery and cakes there, Magical Toys. They've got a coal blast furnace there as we get down towards the seafront and the harbour area, an industrial building. But yeah, really, really nice seaside chip shop there, of course. Electric charging station. We've got a logistics centre east. We've got a dairy there. There's a lot going on up here in the town. Now, of course, the main, I suppose, one of the very main features of the Highland expansion is the aquaculture and the fishing. So that a lot of that takes place here at the harbour side, and also out into the ocean here, which we'll go and have a look at, because there's a couple of new vehicles we can buy in the form of boats. But just very quickly, just pointing out a few more things on the map here. You've got the warehouse there, logistics centre, railroad. There is, of course, an active railway running through the map here. As you can see, there's the train. It's a rentable train, of course, that lovely old steam locomotive. There is also a new construction project on the map, the castle. Now, obviously, that takes into account using a few of the production chains, of course. We'll have a quick look at these. Of course, we've got a bakery, which I'm not going to go into the details of all of these. You know, if you're no stranger to Farming Simulator, you know what a bakery does, you know what a biogas plant does, you know, and all that kind of stuff. But there's a couple here that are unique to the Highland fishing to Kinlaig. We've got a carpenter's, we've got a fish food factory. Now, this is new. This is unique to this map. You can make fish food using canola oil, soybeans and flour, olive oil, soybeans and flour, rice oil, soybeans and flour, and sunflower oil, soybeans and flour all come to make fish food. There is a quarry on the map that requires water to be thrown in so you can get out your big stones. Now, this will all go towards the construction of the castle. You'll need your big stones there. And then when we go down to the stonemason here, you put your big stones in, and you get your castle stones out at the other end as well. You also get roof shingles with your big stones to get roof shingles out the other end. You've got a sawmill, of course. You've got your spinnery. These are all things I suppose we're not no stranger to. We've had a look at the stonemason there. We've got the tailor shop. There is a vegetable processing plant. Now, of course, we've got the new crop onions from the Highland Fishing DLC. Now you can make carrot soup with your fried onions. You can make using canola oil. Sorry, you can make fried onions, olive oil, and rice oil. Adding in your onions, you get fried onions out the other side. The same case with sunflower oil. Add in your onions that you harvest out the ground, you get fried onions out the other side. Onion salt. You've got onion soup. You've got parsnip soup, potato soup, red beet, and triple soup as well, using your carrots, parsnips, and red beets. You've got a windmill on the map, production chain, of course. This can process your flour, to process to make flour from your barley, from your oats, from your long grain rice, your sorghum, and your wheat. And of course, you've got your young fish breeding. So you'll put in your fish food that you get out the other side of the fish food factory, and you'll get young salmon. You'll get 78 young salmon from that, 80 young salmon from that. Oh, it's just a different variant, I suppose. And then you've got your young trout from your fish food, and a slightly more young trout out of this one as well. So yeah, but yeah, like I say, we need to pop down to the harbour side and have a look at what this fishing entails. Right then, so here we are at the harbour side. Now, I've done a little bit of faffing around just to get my head around exactly how some of this works. But essentially, if you owned the young fish breeding production site on the map, you will end up with pallets that look like this. A little box of, in this case, young trout. Got 2,000 young trout in there. Now, we've got a boat. There's two boats, and you purchase these from this point here on the corner of the harbour. So if we just go to there, it costs £275,000. Is the cargo vessel. It can be used to transport goods to the aquacultures. The crane can be used to lift the pallets onto the ship. So you can buy this one, or you can also buy the sport boat, which for £55,000. We do own that as well. That's just over there, and we also own a fishing rod. We'll have a look at that in a very little bit. Very soon, but I kind of just figured I'd try and get my head around this bit. So first and foremost, as you can see, there are no aquacultures out there in the sea there. So what you can do, you jump into the construction menu, and in the factory section, you go far off to the right hand side, and as you can see, you've got a fish lake. You've got the young fish breeding kind of area, which you can own if you buy the production system that's already on the map. And then you've got the aquaculture areas here. Now, if we zoom out a bit, by default it comes with this, I think it's called a 2x1, but you can customize it. So if we customize it, you've got the layout option of a 2x1, you can have a 2x2, you can have a 3x2, or you can have a real big one at 4x2. So let's go for the real big one, shall we? So yeah, we'll go for that. Yep, thank you. How can I select that? Right, okay. There we are, that's better. So, what you want to do is just find yourself a nice big space there. We'll place it down. So now we own that. And then you want to, essentially, this big cargo vessel is to transport your young fish out to your aquaculture areas over there that we've got now, taking up a good bit of the view out there on the sea. So, now I tried my very best to control this as best as possible, but if you unfold the crane, and as you can see, it does take a little bit of getting used to, I'll be honest, but once you've unfolded your crane, you bring the hook out to your individual pallets that you have here on the harbour side, and once you've got the hook kind of hovering over the top of it, just click X to mount the pallet to the crane. And now I'm going to do a very, very terrible job, no doubt, of trying to lift it onto the boat. This might take a little bit of messing around, but like I say, it does take a bit of getting used to. I am using a control pad, but yeah, if we turn that round there we are. Now I could just let go of this, I suppose, but that feels like the wrong thing to do. Try and put it in roughly the right spot. There we go. Unmount pallet. There you go. Right, that'll do, I think. And essentially, you'll load up your pallets onto your ship here, load them all onto here, and then take them out to your aquaculture centre over there, which is it's a pretty cool thing. This, I've got to be honest, it's a really nice detail. I haven't properly explored it in full yet. We'll see how that goes, but yeah, that's essentially what you do to load up your ship, and you do the reverse at the other end. Now here we are at the other end. Now you'll have to bear with me because this whole navigating, controlling a big boat like this is a whole new experience, quite frankly. It happens very, very slowly. It's so yeah, bear with me. I'm just trying to bring the thing to a halt here. So if we now grab that pallet. Now as you can see on the deck of the ship, I have added another pallet of fish food into this just very quickly, just to showcase what you do with it. But you essentially unload it. I'd imagine doing this could take quite a while if you've got quite a few things to offload, but you essentially just stretch it out. I'm doing my very best here to do it as tidily as possible. I am just going to drop it off, but essentially just let that go. Boom. You'll see that fall into there, and what you've done there is you put your young fish into your aquaculture over here, and then you do the same with the pallet of fish food there that we've got on the deck. I'm not going to do that again because that's going to take forever, but yeah, that's essentially what you do. And then on the deck that we can see, just if I just jump off the ship here, try and do it without falling into the sea. But yeah, as you'll see there, this area, this loading deck, this is where you'll get your trout and your salmon out the other end, which you can then sell. If we go into the prices menu, as you can see there, you get your salmon out the other end, or your trout, and they sell for decent money. The salmon's more valuable than the trout at £3,900. I'm assuming that's for 1,000 litres of fish, if you can get such a thing. But yeah, the money seems pretty decent. Its lowest price there is 3,100. Its highest is 3,900. So yeah, it's quite a valuable thing. So it could be something well worth getting into for the money side of things. Now we'll have a very quick look at the speedboat very quickly, and the fishing rod thing that comes with this expansion, and then we'll have a little bit more look at the map. Right then, so you bought your speedboat, your sport boat, Lizard sport boat, for £55,000. I'm again, having not really fully tested this thing, I'm just running this live with you guys, really, I suppose. But I've bought myself out to the open water here. Try my best to bring it to a stop. There we go. I'll just let off the engine there. Turn it off. We can just get out the seat there. Now we're on the deck of the boat, and you go into the handhelds menu, and you can purchase the fishing rod for £150. And essentially, you just cast your fishing rod, and then it tells you to wait. Now I haven't waited for the length of time it needs to catch a fish yet, so I'll do that now. There might be a little bit of a jump cut. Right, there we go. Control reel strength. Okay, by holding and releasing the input, you can move the hook up and down. When the hook is level with the fish, the progress bar on the left is filling, otherwise the bar will sink. When the progress bar is full, the catch is complete. If the progress bar is empty, the fish has escaped. Okay, right. So what do we do here now? Control reel strength. I really don't know what's going on here. Has the fish escaped? The fish got away. Well, unsurprising. That was a bit of a fail. Looks like I'm reeling my hook in here. But you get the idea. It did take a few minutes to hook something then, but yeah, this is what it entails. I'm not too sure what happens when you actually catch a fish at this end, but either way, I'm not going to explore too deep into that. I'll leave that for you guys to explore. So anyway, right, let's go have a look at the rest of the map. Right, very quickly, before we do, we'll have a quick look at the extra vehicles that come with the Highlands fishing expansion. So we've got a couple of new brands in here now as well. We've got Can-Am. Now we've got the Outlander Pro XU HD7 little quad buggy thing going on here. You can equip this with a snowplow at the front. You've got a couple of wheel options. You can equip it with a crawler track. How cool does that look? You've got EU and US spec, which comes with or without the extra rear view mirrors on the handlebars there. The attachers, when it's set to no, you don't have any kind of ball hitch at the back. If you click that to yes, you can see an extra ball hitch that appear at the back there. And you can also equip it with or without a chainsaw holder at the very front of the vehicle there. You can see that little tray kind of disappear and reappear. That's where you can keep your chainsaw. So same pretty much goes for the Outlander Max XU as well. This one's got a couple of different engine specifications. Again, you can equip it with a snowplow. You've got an 850, I'm assuming that's 850cc engine. You've got a 1000cc engine and back to the 850. Again, crawler track setup, or the standard wheel setup. I think if I ever use this thing, it'll be with those crawler tracks, that's for sure. EU and US spec, of course, attaches with or without, and with or without the chainsaw holder. And then you've got this slightly bigger, again, Defender DPS HD9, like a passenger vehicle as well. Equip it with or without the snowplow. And you can give it a couple of different cab designs as well, with windows and a roof, with some plastic doors, and back to the design one, just the bare cage. And you can give it an extension as well, which gives you a bit of security, stowing away your products and pallets in the back there, or pallet. I'm assuming that's pretty much what we can get in the back of there. So that's pretty cool. We've got another Skoda Octavia in the game now. I'm not too sure what the difference is with this one. I must admit, I've never really used the Skoda Octavia. He's got the VRS version. I know that's pretty quick. Give it a trailer hitch and you can change the colour. That's pretty much that. Now this is cool. We've got the Fast Track 2000 4-wheel steer series. I know we had a mod for this from Mark Thor back in FARMERSIM 22. It was similar to this one anyway. But yeah, this is I like this one. I really do. So we've got the 2115 4-wheel steer to 125 at 139 horsepower and 150 horsepower. The 2135. And down to the base 130 again of the 2115. You can equip it with your usual Trelleborgs and Michelins and your Continentals and your Mitas, BKTs and your Vredesteins and your Nokians, and back to your Trelleborgs. And you've got wides, narrows, rear narrow twins, rear twins, twins all round, and back to your standard. You can give it a beacon light, design 1, design 2, design 3. And back to none again, and you can give it a front loader attacher as well. So that's pretty cool. And then we've got another Deutschfahrt Series 6230 TTV coming in at £215,000, euros or dollars, standard, or you can equip it with the Warrior or the Lamborghini edition. Very much like Mr. Clarkson's tractor, that one, by the looks of things. And back to standard again. You've got the engine specs at 216 horsepower. You've got 230. And back to 216 again. You get your usual variants of wheel brands and wheel setups, and you can also equip this with a front loader as well. And you've got another couple of JCBs coming up. You've got the Fast Track 4000 Icon series. Wait for that to load in. Lovely tractor this. Give it a couple of engine variants, 178 horsepower, 210, 235, and back to 178. And you've got your usual wheel brands, wheel setups, additional weights, which I think appears at the back there. Where's that? Yeah, that appears on the back. You can give it 900 kilos or none at all. Interior carpet. Click yes on that. You've got a nice contoured custom JCB floor mat there. That looks pretty cool. And you've got a couple of beacon light variants as well, with or without. Design 1, design 2, design 3 with them both, or back to none again. And again, you can equip this one with a front loader as well. And now we got the New Holland T8000 series. T8020 coming in at 281 horsepower, 307 for the T8030, 342 for the 8040, 359 for the 8050, and back to 281 for the 8020. Usual wheel brands, wheel setups, etc., and your beacon light configurations as well. Nice looking tractor, that one. And then we've got the Fast Track 8000 icon, which I know we've had a mod for this in the community for a while from Ross N Mods. The 8290 at 306, 348 horsepower for the 8330, 8 and back to the 8290. Again, usual wheel brands and wheel setups, additional weight at the back there, 900 kilos. We can add a 1600 kilo to this one with it being a bigger frame. And back to no again. Interior carpet and your usual beacon light designs as well. Now we've got a few of the custom kind of particular bits and bobs that we've got. We have the Monosem MS Electron, which is an onion planter. Now this is a handy bit of kit at 4.5 meters wide, comes in at £52,000. It's a nice looking bit of kit. This is for planting the new crop that we have, thanks to the farming DLC, the fishing DLC, onions. And then we go down again, we've got the Monosem Wingfold Valoterra Ultimate. Again, what we're looking at here? It comes with a ridge marker or without. It needs 110 horsepower for this with a 1,910 litre capacity for seed and fertilizer. And then we've got the Valoterra TFC2 again. These are used for crops like maize, sunflowers or soybeans, these two. And this one just holds seed on its own. You can equip it with a fertilizer distribution unit if you so wish. And again, ridge markers as well. Pretty cool. And then we've got the front tank here, the Monosem Duo for sticking on the front. We've got a Vadestadt FH220, 2200 front tank. We've got the Proseed V24 Vadestadt Seeder. We have an AgriSpread AS2100 SCS lime spreader, lime and solid fertilizer spreader. It's a nice looking thing. 9,000 litre capacity. Give it a few wheel brands. And you can also give it a wind boom. That's pretty cool. And then we have another new brand to the game now, Bunning Trailers, the Lowlander Widebody 250 HBD. You can have UK warning signs or the EU warning signs, no doubt, out the back. There we are. Changing on the back of the wheel arches there from red and white to yellow and red. And then we've got the boundary spreading system for an extra 800 quid. And you can change the colour, of course, as well, with a variety of colours. And it'll no doubt be the same story for the Series 140 trailer as well. You can equip this with the extension. It comes with the extension, or you can equip it without the extension, giving you 19,300 litres there, or 31,900 litres there. So a couple of different wheel and tyre brands as well. And setups, wide tyres, back to standard. And you can, by the looks of things, you can daisy chain these ones and have a trailer hitch at the back as well. That's pretty cool. Similar story for the colour setups. And the last one, Series 200 trailer as well. Very nice looking thing, this one. Same story. Looks like you can equip it with a trailer hitch if you wanted to daisy chain them. And you can equip it with or without a cover as well. And then we have another new brand, Daman, a Profi Class Tridem. Now this is a very, very big looking sprayer. Yeah, herbicide and liquid fertilizer for this one. No real options to change around in the garage here, but this is a very big thing. 12 tons, 20,000 litres, 42 metre wide spread. Yeah, this is you're going to need something pretty powerful to drag this along. Very nice looking thing though. It's nice to have another new brand in the game. And then down we've got the next self-propelled Daman DT2800H S5 sprayer. We've got the option for a 24 metre spray width, 30 metre, 36 metres, and back to 24 metres. The usual wheel brands and wheel setups. This one, of course, you can give it your narrow tyres or standard. You can give it wide tyres and back to narrow tyres with or without a beacon light. Or you can actually vary the tank setup. You can have a 5,000 litre tank, 6,000 litre tank, 7, and back to 5 again. So yeah, a bit of variety going on there. Very cool. And then we have some specific onion equipment. We've got the Holorus UMR 300 FC. This tool is used to cut off the haulm of the onions and drop them as a windrow behind the tool, coming in at £68,500. You can equip it with or without lighting. And we also have the Holorus UR205 coming in at 35,000. The onion windrow picks up the windrow again, cleans the onions and drops them on the desired side of the tool. No real options to change in this one. This just comes as it is. And then we also have one of the very big self-propelled harvesters, the Grimmy Varitron 470. And yeah, it looks like we can equip this with or to deal with potatoes or onions, so that's pretty cool. And then we have a new baler. We have the Claas Roland 520 RC. Again, usual story, a few different wheel brands, wheel setups. We can equip it round bale net with the Claas Rollertex Pro, or you can empty it, or just go back to the Claas Rollertex Pro. And then last but not least, we've got another Roland 630 RC Unirap. Again, usual story, a few wheel and tyre brands, setups, bale wraps. We can have it with white wrap, black wrap, green. I suppose we're going through a few different colours, or you can have it empty, and the same to go with the round bale net. You can have it with or without. And then we've got a couple of these little pallets now that are new to the fishing side of the whole expansion. You can have a pallet of fish food, and you've got your fishing rod, which you can use, which you've just been doing before, off the back of the boat for 150 quid. So we'll try and have a look at the map in full, as much as possible anyway, from up here in the sky. In my personal opinion, those of you who have been around my channel know that I like to do map tours and try and cover as much as we can from up in the sky. But this is the young fish breeding production area down here. We're on the far east side of the map at the minute. This is that. So yeah, this is where you'll breed your young fish if you were wanting to get into a bit of aquaculture. But yeah, the map, like I say, these lovely just handfuls of rows of houses that are dotted around the map, beautifully textured and beautifully modelled. They really are. These are the kind of things, in my personal opinion, that make this map so immersive. Just having these lovely old houses on the street there really do add to it. So this is the other starter farm that we had a look at before. Decent sized plot of land. We've got a nice old farmhouse as well, and you've got a good handful of field sizes around it if you wanted to purchase those. I love these old rock cliff faces as well around the map. It's really special. Now over here at the top here, this is the castle construction area. So if you wanted to get into constructing, much like we had the roller coaster back on Silver Run Forest and a handful of other things in other maps, this is the castle construction project here. So that could be pretty cool to get your teeth into. I wish I had the time to do this one myself and showcase it to you, but unfortunately I don't. But yeah, I love, even just as it is now, just as in its own kind of ruined form, I think is really nice. But yeah, it'd be exciting to see what this looks like when it's fully done. So yeah, something to get your teeth into. But yeah, just the lay of the land on this map, I think, is perfect. It really is. We've got a petrol station down there on the side of the road. Lovely detailed river there with a little bridge crossing it. It's just, I think it's just very quaint. Again, like I said before, having come from Scotland and lived there up until I was like 8 years old, holidaying in various places around Scotland, this is absolutely bang on. It really is. These areas out of the town feel absolutely perfect. The old dark brickwork that make up the viaduct here, and also make up a lot of the buildings here in the town. Forgive me, I'm kind of scatting left, right and centre here, aren't I? But yeah, the brickwork that make up some of these buildings here is bang on, if you ask me. It's absolutely perfect. The old buildings here, they feel and look exactly as they should be for Scotland. It was Edinburgh that I was brought up in, and this is, any of you who do live in Edinburgh will no doubt recognise, and this will feel very familiar to you. It really will. I know this isn't meant to be Edinburgh, but it's Scotland nonetheless, and I know a lot of historic towns in Scotland look and feel like this. But yeah, it's absolutely perfect. It really is. So you've got a few we're hovering over a lot of pink dots here in the map PDA, so we'll just have a look and see what we're above here. Looks like there's a fuel tank down there. Oh, sorry, the electric charging station. We're directly above the dairy sell point and the logistics centre. That's what that big warehouse is there, the logistics centre. But yeah, it's a beautiful map, this. I really quite fancy having a go on this one, quite frankly. Yeah, very special indeed. We're just over in the southwest corner of the map here. We've got a couple more sell points, the Toasty Soul and the Coffee House. If we have a look in the PDA there, zoom in, and we can see them both there. Just a couple more sell points to sell your products at. The Toasty's Bakery there and the Coffee House, just situated beautifully in this lovely little quaint kind of tiny little, it's not a town, is it? It's just a cluster of houses. But I think what Giants have done with this map, the attention to detail that they've done, and used and created is absolutely beautiful. Just the way that the road crosses that bridge there with the river running underneath it is perfect, in my opinion. It really is. Coming down the hill now from that little cluster of houses, you've got another sell point there, the feed and grain sell point. You've got a lime tank there for purchasing your lime. A few fields here making their way down the hill. Again, lovely little bit of decoration there set into the trees. An old typical Highlands Scottish country cottage there. Lovely. There's loads of areas of forestry on the map. We're right on the map border here as well. But yeah, just another really nice feature as the road crosses the river ravine there. Beautifully modelled and made there. But what I did also discover over here is another construction project that you can purchase. It only appears on the map if you own the plot of land, but I just saw that sign here that says plot ownership required, and sure enough, you can purchase and construct a windmill there. So you, which is pretty cool. You've got to build the windmill, and then you can turn it into a production site, which is absolutely brilliant. I really like that. But yeah, nicely set on the hill, overlooking most of the map and the sea. Beautiful. And this is one of the unique production sites that we've got on this map, the Kinlaig quarry, which you can purchase for, let's see how much that costs to purchase, £235,000. And from this, you obviously, if we go into the production systems menu, you'll throw some water in here and you'll get big stones out the other side. And this is then when you'd also then purchase the stonemason production site and turn those big stones into castle stones if you were going to build that castle. But another nice little tiny feature that this map and DLC does provide to the game is a secondary option for selling your stones. Ordinarily, we've had that stone crushing machine up to now, haven't we, throughout FarmSim 22 and FarmSim 25, but this is now a placeable thing. I haven't placed this down. This is part and parcel to do with this particular production site, but it is in the placeables menu. It is a sell point for your stones, just a couple of nice old rusty skips, which is a really nice touch if you ask me. And a very quick peek at the unique vehicle dealership that we have here on Kinlaig. Kilted Pistons, I love that, absolutely brilliant. You've got your nice big detailed vehicle shop here, which you can pull your vehicles into if you so wished. You've got your shop trigger there, and you do also have a workshop trigger next door as well, up on those steel ramps, which is pretty cool. But yeah, I do love that. Kilted Pistons. That's a lot of thought, I believe, has gone into this map and DLC. I think this is, in my personal opinion, like I said before, I think this is Giant's best work when it comes to a map. Like I say, in my personal opinion. I know opinions are what they are. We all think what we think about them. Some people like it, some people don't. So I do have to say that this is my personal opinion. But I genuinely believe this is Giant's best work when it comes to a map. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen, a relatively brief overview of the new map Kinlaig from Giant Software, part of the Highlands Fishing DLC. Now again, I always do kind of say this at the during one of my map tours. I haven't covered everything in the map. I've not even got anywhere close. I just wanted to make a video to showcase it to you, so you can see what's coming up in a few days' time. This is released on Tuesday, November the 4th. In a few days' time, I do plan on having this release on Friday the 31st. But yeah, it's an absolutely exquisite map, this one. It really is. Not necessarily for everyone. I appreciate that. It's not going to be everyone's cup of tea, but like I've said a handful of times already in this map tour, being from Scotland myself, appreciating how close to real life Giants have got this, I think this is very, very special, and it's definitely one for those of you who love to really get their teeth into an atmospheric, properly, detailed map. I think this is bang on, and I think this is going to please a lot of players, quite frankly. I really, really do. But yeah, I've left a lot, for you guys to discover. I haven't wanted to cover everything. I couldn't have covered everything. This video would have been hours long if I'd have tried to cover every single feature that this map has. But you can see a lot of it from up here in the sky. You can see a lot of the custom new buildings and textures that we've got on this map, the old rustic buildings that Giants have clearly spent a long time researching and doing and making for this map. the textures in the town buildings, the brickwork, the blockwork, the castle. Yeah, it's all perfect if you ask me. The new AI traffic, that's a wonderful addition, I feel. I hope that new AI traffic makes its way to other maps. I hope it doesn't necessarily stay to this map, but it'd be nice to see those in other maps, but time will tell. We shall see. But either way, ladies and gentlemen, I really do hope you have enjoyed this little map tour of what I've been able to put together so far. If you are of a mindset where you're looking to make a purchase for this one, please do consider using my Giants Partner promo code. If you're looking to purchase this Highlands DLC, it would go a long way to supporting the channel. Any help and support there is always hugely appreciated. But anyway, from me, FARMERSIM, and from here, Kinlaig, cheers everyone, and I'll see you in the next one.